There is a scene in this movie that has made grown adults leave the room, not walk out of a theater, not change the channel. I mean physically stand up, say I can't, and leave their own living room. Bone Tomahawk was not made. It was endured. The actors endured it. The crew endured it. And you, if you press play, you will endure it too. But only once, because nobody watches this movie twice. Nobody. Here are the dark secrets behind Bone Tomahawk and the truth the filmmakers tried to hide. Number 1. The director had never made a movie before. Let that sit. S. Craig Zahler, the man who crafted one of the most savage films in modern cinema, was a novelist, a musician. He wrote books about dark, ugly things happening in dark, ugly places. Then someone gave him a camera and a budget. It sounds fake, but it's not. His budget was reportedly under $3 million. $3 million. That's less than what most studios spend on catering for a Marvel movie. And with that pocket change, he built something that burns itself into your skull. The reason that matters is because there were no studio executives hovering over his shoulder. No one told him to soften the violence. No one told him to cut the scene. You know the scene. We'll get there. But understand this first. The reason Bone Tomahawk hits the way it hits is because one man had total unchecked creative control, and he chose violence. But the cast he assembled is what makes this thing really sting. Number 2. Kurt Russell said yes before he even finished the script. Kurt Russell, the guy who stared down the thing, the guy who escaped from New York and Los Angeles. He read Zahler's screenplay and committed almost immediately. Patrick Wilson signed on. Matthew Falk, Richard Jenkins. These aren't desperate actors looking for a paycheck. These are heavyweights who recognized something rare, a Western that didn't flinch. Russell plays Sheriff Franklin Hunt, a man of few words and hard bone. He reportedly told interviewers he was drawn to the dialogue, that it felt like something from another era, not a modern script pretending to be old, something genuinely ancient. And that's the trick of Bone Tomahawk. For the first 90 minutes, you forget you're watching a horror movie. You think it's a slow, beautiful Western about men on a rescue mission. Your guard drops. Then it happens. Number 3. The first hour is a trap. This is the part that hurts, because the movie earns your trust. It spends an almost unreasonable amount of time letting you sit with these characters. You watch them ride. You watch them talk. You watch Patrick Wilson's character drag himself across the desert on a broken leg, refusing to quit because his wife is out there somewhere. You start to care about these men. Genuinely care. Richard Jenkins plays a character named Chicory, an old, rambling backup deputy who tells long stories and has no business being on this mission. And you love him. You love this old man. The pacing is deliberate, slow like a fuse. Zahler knew exactly what he was doing, because the slower the build, the harder the fall. The movie lulls you into thinking the worst thing that can happen is someone dying of thirst. And that brings us to the scene that ruined everything. Number 4. The split scene. I am not going to describe it in full detail. I won't do that to you. But if you've seen it, your body just reacted to those 2 words. Split. A character is taken by the troglodyte clan. They are stripped, turned upside down, and then they are divided vertically, while alive, while screaming. Camera does not cut away. It sounds fake, but it's not. There is no CGI safety net here. Practical effects team built this moment with prosthetics, with real materials, with texture you can almost feel through the screen. Sound design. The sound design is what gets people. It's wet. It's structural. You hear things separating that should never separate. Audiences at early screenings reportedly went silent. Not gasps, silence. The kind of silence that means a room full of people just collectively realized they are watching something they cannot take back. Look closer at what makes it so devastating. Number 5. Zahler used the bond of empathy technique. This is something horror directors talk about but rarely execute at this level. You spend an hour and a half building real emotional connection to a character, real love, real investment. Then you destroy that character in the most graphic, prolonged way possible. The audience doesn't just see violence, they feel violence, because it's happening to someone they care about. That's the difference between Bone Tomahawk and a standard gore film. A standard gore film shocks you. This movie grieves you. Your palms sweat, your jaw lock. Some people describe a full body tension, like their skeleton is trying to leave the room without them. Zahler understood that brutality without empathy is just noise. Brutality with empathy is trauma, and the actors felt it too. Number 6. Patrick Wilson filmed his scenes on a real injury. Wilson's character, Arthur O'Dwyer, spends the entire film hobbling through the desert on a shattered leg. What most people don't know is that Wilson committed to the physical reality of that performance in a way that genuinely damaged his body. He refused comfortable shooting conditions. He wanted the limp to look agonizing because he wanted to feel something close to it. In interviews, he described shooting in the desert as one of the most physically punishing experiences of his career, and you can see it. Every step he takes on screen makes you wince. The audience carries his pain the entire movie. That makes the finale hit harder because you realize this man dragged his broken body across hell, and hell was waiting for him at the end. But the villains are what truly set this movie apart. Number 7. The troglodytes are not supernatural. This is what a lot of people miss. The cave-dwelling clan in Tomahawk is not magical. They are not demons. They are not zombies or aliens or ancient curses come to life. They are people, feral, inbred, devolved, but human. And that is infinitely worse. Zahler wrote them as a splinter group of humanity that went underground and never came back. They have a language. They have rituals. They have a social structure. They breed. They are what happens when human beings are removed from civilization for centuries. The implication is sickening because it means this didn't require the supernatural. No possession, no curse, just isolation, time, and the worst parts of human nature left unchecked. The bone whistles embedded in their throats, that shrieking sound that echoes through the canyon, that was made by human hands, from human bone. Nobody knew a Western could feel this hopeless. Number 8. The ending does not save you. Most horror movies give you a pressure release. A final girl escapes, the sun comes up, the monster dies, and the music swells, and you exhale. Tomahawk does not do that. Without giving away the final minutes, the survivors of this movie do not walk away whole. They walk away less, physically less, emotionally gutted. The final shots don't feel like victory. They feel like a field hospital. Don't cheer. You just sit there, staring at the credits, feeling like you personally walked through that canyon. And that's why people say you can only watch it once. It's not that the movie is bad. It's that the movie is so effective, so completely committed to making you feel every moment of its violence that your brain files it under never again. The studio begged them to cut this. They didn't cut a frame. And that brings us to the secret that haunts this movie's legacy. Number 9. This film was barely released. Tomahawk did not get a wide theatrical run. It was dumped into a limited release and VOD in October 2015 with almost no marketing, no major press tour, no billboard. A movie starring Kurt Russell, one of the most recognizable actors on the planet, was essentially buried. Some believe distributors didn't know how to sell it. It's not a clean Western. It's not a clean horror film. It sits in a category that makes marketing departments sweat. So it became a word-of-mouth legend, the kind of movie someone tells you about at 2 in the morning with a look in their eyes like they've seen combat. Have you seen Tomahawk? That question is a test. If you say yes, something changes between you and that person. You share something now. Something ugly. Number 10. You will remember the sound long after the credits roll, long after you close the laptop or turn off the TV. You will forget character names. You will forget plot points. But you will remember the sound of that scene, the wet, heavy, impossible sound of a human body being opened like a book. It will come back to you at random, doing dishes, lying in bed, driving. It lives in you now. That's the power of Tomahawk. It doesn't just ask for your time. It takes something from you, and it never gives it back. I told you at the start, this movie is not watched, it's endured. And now you have a choice. You can press play knowing what waits for you in that canyon, or you can walk away and always wonder what the fuss was about. Either way, Tomahawk wins. If you survived this video, hit like. What's the one movie scene you can never unsee? Tell me in the comments below. I'll be reading every single one.